Hey, welcome, guys. This is Tony Porter, Tabletop Baseball Digest, also Universal Baseball Association. Check out the Facebook group there. Um, we're playing Fall Classic Baseball. It's a game between the Rangers and the Tigers in 1974. I'm doing a five-team replay. I will soon, at the midway point, I will have the stats and go over the stats and compare them to the rest of the teams that are played by replay, the PC game, Replay Baseball. So this is a short video that I'm creating here in the middle of this game, early part of this game. And I'm going to basically do a tutorial and look at some symbols. So this is really about the symbols that come up, and I'll have some comments on different aspects of the dice rolls that occur. So this is a 45, and a 45 is related to the walks. It's the walk section of the pitcher card. On the batter card, it could have, this is Al Kaline batting right now. There's 2 outs in this inning, bottom of the first. Al Kaline, and he's got a plus sign on 45, which means that if he gets on base, like on a fielder's choice, he would have the opportunity to steal. Now, this is what's interesting. On 45 here on the pitcher card, which both pitchers have are in the C column, their worst stuff. If they can get through 5 innings, I would put them to the B column. Although the rules say 7 innings, I feel that that's like a little bit too much, and you expect too much out of the pitchers. So I'm kind of more inclined to go to the 5 innings. It's got very, very little effect. It doesn't happen very often, but you know. Anyway, so the pitcher on 45 has an out G. Okay, so a G means that it's going to be a result number 6 or result number 4. And that is based on the D20 or just on the rules. So the G, he's a right-handed batter, so that would be a result G, which would be a double play in this instance, right? If there was a runner on first and so on, there's nobody on base. So a 45 goes directly to an out. Okay? So it's going to be a ground ball out, not a fly ball out. There are fly ball pitchers. Jackie Brown for the Rangers happens to be a ground ball pitcher. So there were two symbols on that 45 roll. And this is going into the more, outlier elements of the game. This is not something that's really usual. You don't see a lot of that in this game, which allows it to flow. It minimizes the symbols, and I think that's one of the keys to the design of this game. All right, so that's the end of the bottom of the first. We go to the top of the second. It's going to be Jim Spencer leading off for the Texas Rangers. He was a Yankee in the late 70s. Joe Coleman is on the mound for the Tigers. Here's a pitch. That's a 46. Now that's a ballpark result. Okay, and let's grab the ballpark. Let's look for the Tiger ballpark. Okay, there's one card I haven't seen there, and that's the Phillies. Okay, so we're going to flip that over. We're going to look at the other batch. Tiger ballpark. There it is, Tiger ballpark. So the result is an 8 on and that would be right up a foul ball. That falls into the foul ball range on both righty and lefty. So the good thing about this is it has righty lefties for the ballparks. So that's a ball that's hit back into the stands, and another at bat for Jim Spencer. Or another opportunity for Jim Spencer. That's a 66. Now that could be a home run. And Spencer only hit 7 home runs in 350 at bats. Now I rolled a really low number, so that's going to be a drive off the top of the wall, and into second base standing is Spencer with a leadoff double. Jim Spencer hit 11 doubles, 4 triples, and 7 home runs. So he does have triples on that 66. He's got a home run. He can also hit 6 home runs on 65, but that'll be depending on what the pitcher card is. Like, does the pitcher give up a lot of home runs or not? So that's another excellent aspect of this game, right? That a lot of, but this game, you see the difference between this game is that it plays like a basic game, but it has all the elements of an advanced game. Like in basic games, you're not going to have, it's unusual to have pitcher home runs allowed ratings, right? It's usually just the batter home run allowed rating. It's not the pitcher. The pitcher doesn't, it doesn't affect that. But in reality, of course, it does. Some pitchers give up a lot of, dingers, and some pitchers just don't. All right, so we got Toby Harrah is up. He's a right-handed hitter. In the simulation, he's batting 260. In reality, he batted 260. All right, it's a 64. That's usually a strikeout number if it's a really good strikeout pitcher. In this case, it's going to be a fly ball. It's an out on the pitcher card. It's a blank on the batter card, an out on the pitcher card. Then you look at the two. That's a fly ball center field. How do you know? Well, you go to, this is the chart that I recommend, the Take It Easy chart. Okay, highly recommend this one. It's the one, I feel that this flows the best out of all the charts. So they have several charts that you can go with different. You want to change it up. You want to, it's almost like a new game every time you play if you change up the chart, because it's just a little bit different here and there. Most of the things are similar, but there are elements that are a little bit tweaked here and there. Anyway, that's the one I recommend. Take it easy. All right, so that's going to be a 64 with a 2. It's a fly ball center field. Now, Spencer, if he's fast, he would advance. He would tag up, but Spencer is slow in this game. Now, that doesn't always have to do with the speed of the player. That has to do more with the run scored, right, or the ability to advance the extra base. All right, so Toby Harrah flies out to medium center field. That's Mickey Stanley out there. From left to right for the Tigers, it's Horton, Mickey Stanley, and Jim Northrup. Another thing I like about playing these older seasons, you learn the players, right? You know what positions they played, you know their abilities, and their strengths, their weaknesses, and so on. And I enjoy that. Here's Duke Sims. He's a lefty catcher. Fairly decent hitter with some power. Generally, over this course of his career, has a really good eye and has been known to have a really good on-base percentage, from what I remember. Not on this card really that much that I can see. Here's the pitch from Joe Coleman. It's a 45, and that'll be a base on balls. So that is the walk column, or walk section of the column, the 41 to 45. And Coleman gave up a bunch of walks at a 1.5 whip. So Sims walks, and that puts runners on first and second with only one out. And here's Jim Fregosi. Jim Fregosi played with the Mets for a little while. The pitch, and it's a 41. That's another walk result. So the bases are now loaded. Now remember, Joe Coleman is pitching from his C column. Here's Cesar Tovar leading off, the leadoff hitter. So the lineup turns over, and it's Cesar Tovar with the bases loaded. We're leaving the infield back right now. It's very early in the game. I just want to get out of this inning. Hopefully it hits into a double play. See what happens. I am rooting for the Rangers, though. It's a 13, and the 13 happens to be a hard hit ball right at the shortstop, Brinkman, who flips to Sutherland. The throw to Freehan at first, and that's a 6-4-3 double play, and they get out of the inning. So this is another, the out has an X. If it has an X, I automatically go with a double play. Okay. So the X overrides whatever out it is. It becomes a 4 or a 6, an automatic 4 or 6. Now, it's going to be the bottom of the second inning. Willie Horton and the pitch. Now it's a 65. This is the pitcher home run result on the batter card, which means you got to look at the D20, which is a 12. Then you go to the pitcher home run number. Pitchers that gave up a lot of home runs are going to have a high number. Pitchers who gave up fewer home runs are going to have a low number. Okay? So Willie Horton did hit a bunch of home runs, though. In 200 at-bats, he had 15 home runs. So over the course of a full season, he would have had maybe 40 home runs. So he has a home run at 66, a full-out home run at 65. But now the 65 rule depends on the pitcher ability or the pitcher inability to keep the ball in the ballpark. Jackie Brown is pretty good because in his C column, which is his worst column, he's a 1 to 10. So this is going to be a pop up, right? And to who? To number 5, which is the third baseman. Next up is Jim Northrup, lefty hitter against Jackie Brown. He's got that split number 26. Sometimes it's 25. Sometimes it could be another number there as well. I've seen it in different places, depending on, of course, the batter's ability versus the opposing side pitcher. All right, here goes. And that is a 46. And we said that was a ballpark result, remember? So this time it's a 20, and that's going to take us to something called the wildest section. This is one of the few times in this game, which is 99% chartless, that I have to go to the charts. I'm going to grab something that's called the 54 chart, because this result is called wild. Oh, you know what? I can use this. I can use the fast action cards for the wildest off. Nobody on base. Yep. So it's going to be bases empty, wildest, catcher interference on batter swing. Batter is safe at first on an E2. All right. So all I do with this is just make it an E2. I don't put the. I don't know if the game, the helper that I'm using, the PC helper. Let me see if they have catcher interference. I gotta go into rare. Drop, pop foul, strikeout, pass ball. I don't. Wait. Let me see if they have it in the regular catcher. Oh yeah, they do. It's a CI, catcher interference. Look at that. Oh, but it's not allowing me to hit it. I don't know why. Huh. Oh wait, I see why. Because I clicked on. Hold on a second. Let me undo that. I see why. I think. Okay, so he popped out to third base. Let me undo real quick. Let me redo that. Hold on a second. The game is not responding for some reason. Okay, now it is. Let me do redo the pop-up. There's one out, and I can't get this to work. Anyway, I'm just gonna go with the E2. I feel it makes my life much easier right now, and it's an error by the catcher on the. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll fix it now. I figured it out. Okay. Catcher interference. There we go. Yeah, he got on base from the catcher interference. Okay, so now, so Northrup is on base, and I use automatic steals. You don't have to. You can try to get a jump right now if you want. If Northrup is a base stealer, I don't do it that way. I don't care enough about that. I do get jumps and try to steal if it's a pinch runner, like if I've got a stolen base threat on the bench and it's a one-run game, I will then try to get the jump and so forth. All right, so it's Bill Freehand. He's a righty hitter against Jackie Brown. This is a super short, in-depth detail tutorial, so guys can know a little bit more about the game. This is for advanced players, I would say. You don't need most of this stuff if you're just new to the game to really analyze this unless you really want to. So Bill Freehand. All right, so it's going to be a 42, and that's going to be a base on balls. Remember, both pitchers are on their C, so they're going to be a little wilder than normal. So Freehand walks. That puts runners on first and second with one out. And here comes a guy named Jerry Moses. Moses had 200 at-bats, batted .240 with 4 home runs, 6 doubles, 3 triples, 4 home runs. Just got a little of everything on his card in terms of hitting-wise. But he's on base with runners on first and second, one out. Here's the pitch from Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown had a 1.3 whip, so both pitchers aren't the best, and they don't have great stuff today. And that's going to be a 51 with a 5. The first thing I look at is the KD check. A 51, 52, and 53. 51, 52 are the errors. 53 is for for range. I also use 31 for range, but that's my homebrew mod. 5 is the roll for the KD. The KD is 1 to 2, so this is above that. So I'm going to re-roll that number to see if there's an error. Usually lower numbers are errors, higher numbers are not. This is a 6, most likely an error. Then I pull a card, a fast action card, and I roll the 51. That's going to be to the third baseman. Third baseman is Fregosi. Now you do have one sheet that you can print out that has all this information. I just look at the card. It doesn't happen that often. So Fregosi's error number at third base is a 10. That means that 5 falls within that 10, so it will be an error. And it's a one base error, so he boots it basically, hits off his glove, rolls away, Hara picks it up, and the bases are loaded. So it's an E5. It's a one base advance for everybody. So Jerry Moses reaches and loads the bases on an error on third baseman Jim Fregosi. And here is Aurelio Rodriguez. Aurelio Rodriguez, let's see what kind of batter he is. He is a 222 hitter with 23 doubles, 5 triples, 5 home runs. They were hitting a lot of triples, this Tiger team in 1974. Not a very good team. I think they're the worst team in my league, by the way. Jackie Brown versus Aurelio Rodriguez with the bases loaded. So the Tigers threatening here in the bottom of the second. And that's going to be a 65. And remember what that was. That's the off the batter card, but it's the pitcher home run result number. Now, Aurelio Rodriguez didn't hit a lot of home runs for his number of at-bats. He has almost 600 at-bats and only hit, 5 home runs. So he's going to have a negative number there. That negative number is going to carry over to the pitcher card. Remember, Jackie Brown was 1 to 10. So that's going to, the -6 is going to make it a 10 minus 6 is going to be a 4. So it becomes a 1 to 4. Let's look at what I rolled on a D20. It's a 19. So that's going to be a fly ball to right field. But that 19 is a fly ball, and there's a runner at third. So what do I do with that? What do I do with my chart that I just showed off? Okay, here it is. So 19, this is why I like this chart. So 19 says it's a fly out, but if there's an assist chance if the runner on third is tagging. So now this is where the arm strength of the batter, or the arm assist rating of the batter comes into play. This is not an automatic. There are automatic assists with 2 outs, and that's on singles, 7, 8, 9. Coming home, if the batter's coming home. On double, there's also assists on 7, 8, and 9. On this one, you have a potential assist on this one if you try to challenge the base runner's arm. Refer to outfielder's assist rating. So the first thing I want to do, but this is not automatic. If there's an assist chance if the runner on third is tagging to score. So that tells me that that it's my option. Do I want to challenge the outfielder's arm? So let's look at the assist rating of the right fielder, because that's a 19. A 19, any 9 is going to be to the right fielder, and that's going to be Burroughs. Now, I don't remember Burroughs having a great assist number, but he's an average assist number at a 3. So that's a 50-50 chance. I'm going to try to challenge him on that. But it does also say, if there's an F runner at third, subtract 1 from the outfielder's rating, which would make Burroughs a 2. If it's an S runner, add, and it would make Burroughs' assist number a 4. Right? Add 1. Either subtract 1 from the outfielder's arm or add 1 to the outfielder's arm. Okay, and this doesn't happen very often, but it gives us a chance. So he's a 3. Let's look at what Northrup at third base is. Northrup is an average, so you don't do anything. So it's 1 to 3. I'm going to try to score. I'm going to use a different die. I'm going to use a blue die. So in this game, 1 to 3, he's out. right? In field day, it's the opposite. It's 1 to 3. He's safe, and I love field day. Field day is an outstanding game. Once I get started with field day, I'll play like 20 games in a row. I won't stop. Um, but I do the same with this game as well. Um, so uh, we're looking at. Okay, so we're just gonna basically roll here. Oh, I remember what we're gonna roll. So it doesn't matter. We can say it right here, right? Okay, here it is up there. 1 to 3 is out. 4 to 6 is safe. In field day, it's 1 to 3 is safe, and 4 to 6 is out. Okay, so 1 to 3 is out, and let's see what happens. And that's a 4. He is safe. Um, Now I could have cut the ball off, and freehand. If he's fast at second base, I could potentially have him tag up. But he's average, so I'm not going to do that. So it's going to be he is safe at home. It's a sacrifice fly to right field. All right, so it's 1-0 Detroit. Runners on first and second, and here's Eddie Brinkman. Ed Brinkman, the shortstop. I misplaced this card for a while, and I had to make a substitute. That's the great thing about this game. You automatically, when you order the card set, you automatically get the PDF. That's a $20 value. So if they're selling the cards for $65, you're really getting it for $45. And then of course plus shipping. But right now, the way shipping is, man, I'm going with PDFs because I don't know what they're doing to the USPS right now, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm getting videos of things backed up, and I know that I was waiting for 2 items, and one item, which the guy sent me the tracking for, took like, it seemed forever. And historically, I've been using, this shipping for obviously my whole life, but in the last 25 years, I've used it a ton because I've been in our hobbies, different hobbies, wargaming as well. Um, and it was pretty amazing. You could get stuff in 2, 3 days. Lately, I've been feeling that, man, stuff is really taking forever. But they're messing with the post office because they're trying to privatize it. They want to give it to a private company like FedEx or, or any other company that's a private company. So of course they can, raise the prices, and they reduce the service, and they make, big profits for their shareholders off of people just wanting to get their mail. Anyway, all right, so let's do this. Let's do Eddie Brinkman, runner on first and second. Eddie Brinkman, here's a pitch. Ooh, that's a snake eyes. That's a pretty good number generally, but this one, Eddie Brinkman was not a great hitter. So that's going to be a fly ball at 2 again. Remember that 2? That's a fly ball to Tovar, who takes a couple of steps back, waits for it. He was playing in, so it's not very deep, and that ends the inning. So the Tigers, after all that, only come up with 1 run. And I'm going to do one more half inning to keep it short. I like to keep my videos, 20 minutes or less. I think that's crucial. I'd rather do 3 20-minute videos than one long, complete game video of 19-3, score. I think it's more interesting. And anyway, that's my opinion. Lenny Randall, and it's the top of the third. Joe Coleman with the pitch, and that's a 21. Is usually an out number. That's a 19. That's a fly to right. Right there's Northrop towards the line and makes the nice running catch. Next up is Alex Johnson. And Coleman with the pitch with a 51 is that error result. With a 19, it's too high to be a KD because it's 1-2 on his card. On the pitcher card, 1-2 KD. That would be a strikeout. So we have to roll again. And this time it's going to be a 4. Most likely it's an error. Those low numbers are. It's a shortstop ground ball. 2 bases actually. So it's going to be a throwing error by Brinkman. Now Brinkman is an excellent shortstop, by the way. His number, I remember, is very low. And he has a 6 for a shortstop. That's a low number. And but it will be that 4 falls within that error range, and it will be a 2-base error on Eddie Brinkman. So with 1 out, the Rangers have a runner at second base, the tying run. Here comes Jeff Burrows. I think this is Burrows' MVP season. 25 home runs, 118 RBIs, a 301 batting average. for a Texas Ranger team that really did pretty well. 14, and that's an X result, so it's a double play result, but there's no opportunity for that since there's a runner at second with a 10, right? So if it's not a double play opportunity, I just go with the out on the D20, which is a 10, which is a hard hit ball to center field, and nobody's going to advance on this. It's a line drive to center field, and that is out number 2. Next up is one of my favorite players. He was called as a human rain delay because he took so long. His at-bats took so long, but he had an excellent eye and usually had a great on-base percentage. Mike Hargrove, first baseman. He didn't have great power, but usually could hit 290 and above, 280 and above, and got on base quite often. And it was a decent, above average, I think, defensive first baseman. I thought he was a cool dude. He hits righties very well, by the way. So let's pitch, and Coleman gets the sign from Moses. It's a 46, remember? That's a ballpark card result for a lefty. We rolled a 3, so that's going to be trouble. So that's a drive in the gap or down the line and into the corner. And against, oh boy, at Tiger Stadium, lefties have a big advantage, especially when the home runs, right? Okay, this is the last detail. It's, that's important to know. So lefties, Hargrove is a lefty. 1 to 4, it's gone. So that 3 would say that it's gone, right? No, because on Hargrove, since he didn't hit a lot of home runs for the at-bats, it says no ballpark home runs. So that's going to be a fly ball. He's a lefty. That's going to be a fly ball to right. Shallow fly ball. It's a pop-up. I do not allow runners to advance on the no ballpark home run result. I'm not sure what the rule says, but I think that I've played more games than most people. So if Greg Sylvan was with us, he would be open to some of my suggestions. He was a really nice guy. I really miss him a lot. He's a great designer, genius in so many ways. And that's a fly out to end the inning. So it could have been a home run by a guy who hit many more home runs, but since Hargrove did not have great power, only 4 home runs and 400 at bats, he does not get credit for a ballpark home run. And you know that Detroit is a friendly home run ballpark to particularly to lefties, but also to righties at a 1 to 2. All right, so and that's pretty much it for this detailed look at Fall Classic Baseball. And I kind of walked you through it, would give you some reflections, and I think it's a lot to think about and to see the depth of this and the detail of this game in such a quick and simple way. And that's about it, guys. So remember to like and subscribe. Join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group. Also join the Fall Classic Baseball group. And I'm Tony Porter. This is Universal Baseball Association channel, also aka the Tabletop Baseball Digest channel. And thanks for watching this tutorial. And let me know if you want other tutorials and what kind of tutorials you want and with what games you would like. And I'll do this kind of in-depth, slow 2-inning tutorial. Take care. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.